ourselves on a planet just outside of the Cicatrix Maledictum. It's one of the planets that have been abandoned by the Imperium because of the Chaos push out of the new rift. So we've got two forces of Chaos today trying to carve up in one of the worlds from the Empire, and the Death Guard were here first, so they've already planted the seed of corruption to start corrupting this world, but the World Eaters think that this planet is theirs also. Right, 2,000 points of Death Guard. We're going to have Mortarion run the gauntlet of a different army this time. It's pretty much the same army as last time if you did see the last battle. So we've got Mortarion as the Warlord, of course. He's got his Warlord trait fixed, so if you're within 7 of him and you've got a plague weapon, you can reroll the wound. And he's got a load of tricks up his sleeve as well. For psychic powers, we've picked these 3. He can only perform 2 in a turn, but he does know 3. So those are the ones he's got. So for HQs, we've got 3 HQs. We're in a battalion detachment, worth saying. So we've got a lot of contagion as standard. We've got a malefic plague caster, and for psychic powers he's got plague wind and putrescent vitality. We've got demon prince, and he's got gift of contagion for a psychic power. He's also got the relic for super rating plate, gives him a 2+ armor save, which is massive. We've got troops now. We've got 2 units of Plague Marines. We've got a unit of 5 here. 2 blight launchers in there. We've got the champion. He's got a plasma gun on his back. He's also got a power fist. There's a unit 7 here. There's a plasma gun, and the champion has a power fist and plague sword. They'll probably be in the Land Raider. So the Land Raider's got the Havoc launcher on top there. And 2 more troops. We've got 2 units of 16 Poxwalkers, and they'll be escorted around with the Noxious Blightbringer. He's got the plasma pistol. Fast attack, we've got the blood drone, and that is it. So what we've got is 70 points left over. So what we're going to do is we're going to summon a Herald into the game. Now his psychic power when we summon him into the game will be Fleshy Abundance, and his main role is if Mortarion takes any wounds, he can clag wounds back onto Mortarion using that psychic power because he is a Nurgle demon. So he's not as tough as you think, Mortarion, and he does take wounds, so that's what his main role is to keep the main man alive.
Alright, so we've got 2,000 points here of World Eaters. So they're going to provide the opposition to the Death Guard. And the World Eaters are a Khorne army, led by Khan, the Betrayer. This army has a Exalted Lieutenant, Exalted Champion, shall we say. And he has the colour of Bowcaster, which gives them some psychic defense, and also can make the enemy psychic peril. And then we have 3 units of Khorne Berserkers, and each one slightly different. This one we've got a champ with a power sword, and we've got a plasma pistol, got a few chain axes in there as you can see, and then we've got another one with a power weapon, power axe, and we've got a mixture of axes and chain swords, and I think there's a plasma pistol in there. And this one has 2 plasma pistols, and the champion just has the chain sword, I think. Yeah. They're riding in these vehicles, so we have 2 Land Raiders, and they have Havoc launchers each. And this squad are in a Rhino, and over here we have Defiler. See how he performs. Not really a star attraction in any of our armies. The Defiler, he tends to take a lot of
Takes a backseat.
yeah, takes a lot of flak, doesn't he?
He's put his lovely hat on today. His Khorne hat.
It's either one thing or the other, but he's got a nice Khorne hat, yeah. So
Yeah, he's looking the part, and that's all that matters.
It's renovated from the Night Lords. Over here we have another detachment. This is Outrider detachment. It's 3 bikes, just as you see them there, nothing special. And the Demon Prince with wings.
Right, so the mission we've rolled up for is Spoils of War, so you can actually steal opponents' objectives when you can do that with secured objective cards. And we've got Dawn of War deployment, so just the classic setup here. Death Guard put down a unit first, so it did start up here, so we've got the Poxwalkers on an objective already. Mortarion, he's standing in the shadows of this building trying to increase his save a little bit. Got a unit of Plague Marines on the top. There's the blood drone. We've got another Poxwater unit here looking after this objective. Demon Prince. Everyone else is in the Land Raider. So it's a full unit of Plague Marines, the Malefic Plaguecaster and the Lord of Contagion, and they've got a third objective. And this is what the World Eaters ended up like. We've got the Defiler here and the bikes, 2 units of bikes here, and they're ready to set up on that objective because they've got the speed over the Death Guard. I think most things do, but these are especially fast here. We've got the Land Raiders with the Berserkers in. This one's got Karn in as well. This one's got the Exalted Champion. There's the Demon Prince. There's a unit of Berserkers in there with the 2 plasma pistols. They're ready to roll out, but they already have got an objective. And there's just a lonely 3-man bike team here staring at a Land Raider, but they have got an objective themselves. So everyone's already on objectives. Death Guard have 3 already. World Eaters have 2. This is going to be the one of contention, I think. It's going to be a big clash over that one. So I feel like it's going to happen. Right, so the Death Guard will be going first unless the World Eaters can steal the initiative.
Right, an almighty corn shout. Corn! Doesn't work.
It's awful. So
Not
here we go then. Death Guard, turn 1. We've got our tactical objectives in. They seem to be okay, so we're going to hold this one. We don't need it for the time being, but the Poxwater's just going to stay there. The Noxious Blightbringer, he summons a Herald into the shadows over there. He's ready to do his dirty work. And Mortarion jumps from here to here. He advances as well, as does the Blood Drone that's in the centre with Mortarion. Up top they just shuffle forward to the edge of the building, but they're still not in range with those guns. They're quite long range at 24 inches, the Blight launchers, but they're just not going to see any action this turn. We need to defend Objective 4, which is right in front of these Poxwaters, so that's the reason why we've moved our big monsters over here. So the Poxwaters should defend that. We're going to stop this, or try and stop this World Eaters Rhino just racing around the side and putting an end to the cultists. Over here the Demon Prince came forward, he's advanced 2 inches, and the Land Raider goes forward as well. Now I've done Static Phase as well just to speed things up. The Demon Prince smited the bikes, killed 1.5, but the World Eaters played Scorn of Sorcery for their stratagem, which is on a 4+, that can stop that happening, but it's happened anyway. They tried to re-roll with the stratagem and failed it again, so there's 2 stratagems gone for the World Eaters already. It's pretty important because they've been halved, just about, and we've got overwhelming firepower, so if we can get that with the Land Raider on the bikes, that'll be first blood and a point there. So the World Eaters really trying to stop that at all costs, but it just didn't happen. Mortarion used Miasma of Pestilence on himself, almost didn't get it and had to use a stratagem to re-roll, so spent the stratagem for ourselves, and he's now at a -1 to hit his Mortarion. So that is all of the movement and static phase over. We're going to go straight into shooting. So nothing over here, because these are out of range, nothing going on here. It's all about the Land Raider taking out these bikes, if he can. Right, the Land Raider, all weapons at the bikes. So las cannons first, only 1 hit, but we're next to the Demon Prince for re-rolls of 1. Get another one, and wounding on 3s against the bikes. We get 1, we're going to use... no, we're not going to use a stratagem, just going to leave it like that. I don't know, is it a good idea? Yes, we are going to use a stratagem because there's lots of points on offer here. So there's another hit, so 2 saves of 6 required for the bikes. don't get either. It's 2 fails, and then we're going to have to roll for damage. So the first bike is already wounded, takes his extra wound, so he's dead, but only just. And the second bike, he takes 6 wounds, so he's most definitely dead. So that is first blood and overwhelming firepower, which is very, very good. We've also got defend objective 1, so we're going to throw away that objective in the end of our turn, because it is the end of the turn now. It's all the shooting we could have done, but we've picked up 2 points: first blood and overwhelming firepower. So a very decent turn for the Death Guard. Right, World Eater's turn 1. So start off the only way Con wants them to. So all out attack. So we've got the Berserkers over here leading the charge. They've dove out of the Rhino, they just can't be contained, and they're just going to try and get the attack off straight away on probably the Bloat Drone. It's a nasty piece of kit, they want to see that gone. It's a dangerous thing to do, but they just can't be stopped. The Berserkers, who's going to tell them no? And we've got the 2 Land Raiders, they've moved forward, still got the Berserkers in. The Demon Prince, who moves forward with them, is going to give these 2 vehicles reroll 1s, which is pretty dangerous, because they can get a line of sight on Mortarion from here. They're at a -1 to hit because of Miasma of Pestilence, but still, Las Cannon's no joke against someone like Mortarion. Bikes are moving forward to this objective, and the Defiler moves forward a little bit as well. So you can see Khan, he's gotten out of this Land Raider and he's ran, ends up going 14 inches in total. The reason why is they've pulled priority orders received, so your Warlord has to go and achieve a bonus objective, and the bonus objective is secure objective 5, which is this one. So if he can get there, that's 4 points for that objective alone. So scoring big if that happens, which it probably will happen, can't really stop that. But they did have defend objective 3, which is over there with the Poxwalkers, and 4, which the Poxwalkers over there own. So not very good for that, but scoring big on here, it's inevitable. It's going to happen for them eventually, and there's nothing we can do about it. And they've got themselves set up with some strong firepower against the Demon Primarch. It's going to be nervous times for the winged Mortarion. Right, well, they start the shooting phase off with the bikes. Open up volleys at the Plague Marines on here. We've lost 2, even though we're saving on 2s. Not very good for dice rolling for saves, but we're going to hope that we're keeping them in our back pocket for good saves for Mortarion, because he's going to take the brunt of it here. So the Land Raider on the left has been selected to fire all of its weapons at Mortarion. So we've got 4 las cannons primed and ready to go. Hitting on 3s, not actually hitting on 3s normally, but everything from now on will be a -1 against Mortarion for this turn. So forced to hit, rerolling 1s because of the Demon Prince. Right, there's just 2 hits. We got blessed by those 2s there.
Okay, command roll that one.
Alright, reroll for the miss, and it's a 1, so you can't reroll a reroll. So only 2 hits, and it's 3s to wound at strength 9. So there's 2 wounds. So invulnerable 4s, we get 1, and we're going to use a stratagem of our own to reroll that, because las cannons are deadly. We get it, right, we've stopped that altogether. That's very, very good from Mortarion. We've got the heavy bolters now, 6 shots from those, and 4 hits from them, 5s to wound. Oh, strong wound in there. And it's would be at a 4, but they were actually counting the sigil as cover, so we're getting a save of 3 against the Land Raider. So we pass 2, fail 1, disgustingly resilient. We make it, he's holding up here. The Havoc Launcher, how many shots? Just the 1. And it's a hit. No wound, needs a 5. Right, so what's up next?
Next Land Raider.
Next Land Raider, so same thing again. All weapons. Yep, so las cannons. We've got 2 more shots on las cannons. Right, reroll that 1 because of the Demon Prince and his handiness. Right, all hits, right, and this is dangerous. Those were all 4s, that's what was required. So 3s needed against Mortarion. There's 3 wounds. Gonna have to save these on his invulnerable 4. Come on, son. We'll get 1. Oh no, 2 las cannon shots coming through. Right, so 2d6 damage for him. He's gonna have to weather. Oh, there it is, a dreaded 6. So 8 disgustingly resilient rolls to be made. Oh, that was pretty good. 3. It's more than I expected, to be honest. He's taken 5 wounds, and still he's got more to weather. Right, the 6 heavy bolter shots now. 4s to hit. Rerolling those ones. Demon Prince certainly earning his stripes today. 5s, just the 1. Again, we're saving on a 3 because of the cover. We'll make it right. And then there's the Havoc Launcher. How many shots is this going to crank out? Just the 1 again. Forgot to load them in the haste, and it's missed. Right, so he's taken 5 wounds off those Land Raiders. I think we're very, very lucky there. And is the Defiler going to have a go at him?
Yes.
Yep. Right, the Defiler is the last one to shoot, and the World Eaters are playing Blasphemous Machine, so burning through the stratagems, trying to get some early results. So it just means that the Defiler can move and shoot unimpeded, and Khan is on hand to tell it to reroll 1s. He knows sort of machine lingo, I think. He's given it direction. So what are you firing first? The battle cannon? Okay, so how many shots is this battle cannon going to produce? 4. Right, well, it's better than the Havoc launchers. Right, so 4s to hit normally, but 5s because of Miasma of Pestilence, and then re-rolling 1s. So 2 hits, still pretty good. And then wound on 3s, there's 2 wounds on Mortarion. Saving on 4s, we'll make 1 fail 1, so that's D3 wounds for him. And it's just the 1, so disgustingly resilient. Can he make it count? No. So there's our 6th wound for Mortarion. And we've got Reaper autocannon, so 4 shots from the Defiler, 5s, reroll 1. So there's 2 hits. Strength 7, so needing 4s now, because Mortarion is toughness 7, so no. I think that's the end from the heavy weapons. Alright, we've got these Berserkers, so they're going to fire the pistols at Mortarion, and the plasma pistols are even going to overcharge. They're not scared. So plasma pistols, 1 hit, but the other one misses, but doesn't kill himself. Strength 8 because he overcharged it. Yep, that's a solid wound. Going to need to save on our Invulnerable 4 again. Right, so Invulnerable 4 save for Mortarion. Yep, there's solid save, so that's pretty good because the plasma pistol would have been 2 damage. So they've got the rest of the pistols to go, 6 to fire. So hitting on 4s because of Miasma of Pestilence, so just a couple. And no wounds, right. We're going to have to do it with the chain axes. Got the Rhino to fire. Right, the Rhino fires, just doesn't get the hits unfortunately. So it's going to be straight on to assault phase. So we're going to have to see what the World Eaters decide to do here. Right, so the Berserkers are going to charge the Bloat Drone. They're not going to issue a charge against Mortarion, they just don't fancy getting pulled too far out the lines and away from the support, I'm told. So the Bloat Drone is going to overwatch, and it's going to get 7 automatic hits. So this is normally ferocious in the overwatch, so we're hitting on, well, we've already hit automatic hits, but we're wounding on 3s. I've just had a quick check, they are within 7 of Mortarion, so we would normally be wounded on 3s, but the toughness has been dropped by 1 just because of the presence of Mortarion, so we're actually wounded on 2s, and then we reroll 1s because of Plague Weapon. So there is 7 wounds converted. Gonna have to save on 4s because it's AP -1. Oh. Right, it's 4 Berserkers gone down, that's half the squad. Deadly, deadly stuff. Right, the Berserkers are going to fight, and we're going to do the axes first, so we're going to do 2 sets of their attacks since they can fight twice, and we're not going to do heroic intervention, so we might as well just fight them all at the same time. So there's a lot of attacks coming in here from the chain axes, hitting on 3s, and they've played Veterans of the Long War, so it's going to give them a +1 to the wound roll, so they're going to need 3s and then 4s.
Here we go.
So off they go. It's not a good start. Batch of 1s in there. So 4 misses.
Pass the Hamlet cigar, please.
Right, 6 hits there. Normally needing 5s, but because of this Veterans of the Long War stratagem, 4s will do. So here we go.
4s.
Right, there's 4 wounds. It's AP -1 a chain axe, so we're saving on 4s ourselves. So there's 2 wounds that we get disgustingly resilient against. So we've taken 2 wounds. Right, and then there's that again with the chain axes, because corn berserkers fight twice just for ease. We're just doing it all at the same time.
So 1 miss this time.
Right, so that's much better from the berserkers with these axes this round. We're just warming up the last time. And forced to wound again, which is incredibly deadly. So how many is that?
So miss there, miss there. So we have 3, 6.
There's another 6 to save. So these are on 4s again. Oh, what a roll. All but 1. Disgustingly resilient. No, that flashed a 5 and that rock just pushed it back over. Right, so we've taken 3 wounds. And now there's the chain sword guy to fight twice.
So he.
Right, so off he goes. He's fighting twice, just all at once.
So he needs 3s.
3s, yeah. And he's got them all.
And he needs 5s.
Needs 5s, yeah, because chain swords aren't as good as axes to a degree. But he's not done the deed. So still, that's pretty good. 3 wounds on the Blowtron. So the Blowtron will attack back. Right, Blowtron is going to attack back. So we're hitting on 4s. We reroll 1s because of Mortarion. And we're wounded on 2s because these are down by 1 on the toughness because of Mortarion. Oh,
That'll teach it.
But it's a plague weapon, so we get a reroll.
Oh.
So there's 2 wounds. Right, plague probe is AP -2, so berserkers need to save on 5s here. Get 1, fail 1. So 1 berserker's dead, and I've just forgotten about the Mortarion special rule. So the rule for Host of Plagues. So it's at the start of a fight phase. You can, on a 4+, the unit would take D3 mortal wounds. So there would have been actually a chance that we would have killed some berserkers there before they even got the chance to fight.
So go and do it then.
So you're just going to allow us to do it now. Here we go. On a 4+, we're going to take some mortal wounds. So that is passed on a 5. So D3 mortal wounds for the berserkers. There's 3 berserkers dropped. So that's the full squad. And really, our Bloodtron would have been in a little bit better shape, but we're going to keep those wounds on him just out of fairness, because it was a rule I forgot. So difficult times for the berserkers in the middle, taking on the might of the Death Guard. That's a potent combination in the middle, but they tried, but they failed. But it's still a decent round for the World Eaters there. 6 wounds on Mortarion, he's got 12 left. 3 wounds on the Blowtron, that's got 7 left. And we're going to have to do no morale check over here because we only lost 2. And no points for the World Eaters this time, but as soon as Khan reaches here, 4 points for them. And at the end of this turn, we're going to score 2 points for the Death Guard for defending Objective 4. So that's 2 turns now, both player turns. I'm going to score that one. So the Death Guard find themselves with 2 more. Right, so we've done Death Guard movement now. So the Demon Prince, he's advanced through the wall. Mortarion's gone on right towards the Land Raider. He's got the fly keyword, so he can just pass through that terrain unimpeded. Both of us shocked about how fast he moved there towards that Land Raider. Didn't even think we would be able to get there, but after measurement, it's just a 4-inch charge to get to that Land Raider. We'll just fly over the wall and get him, hopefully. Anyway, the Blowtron's done the same, flown over the wall. It's going to harass the World Eaters. The Land Raider moved along here. Can see down the channel there to the World Eaters vehicles, and the Poxwater is starting to move up to the right to this objective, and the Herald, he's stepped out. He's gonna, we'll get to that in a second. Over here they're just crowded around the Noxious Blightbringer, so we're just trying to defend this one a bit, and these are going to put in some shots. But we're straight on to static phase. We've done Smite with the Demon Prince, puts a wound on the Rhino. We've done Miasma of Pestilence on Mortarion again, and we've also smote the Land Raider and put a wound on the Land Raider with that. So because that's three psychic passes, we've got Master the Warp. So we're going to get D3 victory points for that one. It's the full 3, not what the World Eaters wanted to see. And the big one is we've done Fleshy Abundance on Mortarion. We've passed on a 9, but the World Eaters are going to do Scorn of Sorcery, their stratagem, on a 4+. It'll just negate this.
Right, Scorn of Corn, here we go.
It passes, right, so it's such a good stratagem, that one. It's just stopped the ability to heal D3 wounds on Mortarion, so that is very, very crucial, because he could have just healed himself back up there. Right, I've done all that. We're shooting all at once. We've had the Land Raider fire at the Rhino and the Land Raider. There's 3 wounds now in the Rhino. The Land Raider's taken 8. Fired some las cannons at it. So it's damage. It's ready for Mortarion to just come in and deliver the killing blow. The Plague Marines up top here, 2 Blight launchers and a rapid fire and overcharging plasma gun at these bikes, and just missed every single shot and didn't wound. We didn't kill ourselves with the plasma gun, luckily, but thought we would have done better on those bikes, but it's not to be. Right, so not a brilliant shooting phase, but we did some damage to the vehicles. But Mortarion is ready to move in now. So first of all, we're going to do the Bloat Drone is going to attack or try and assault this Land Raider. So we're going to try and absorb the Overwatch first. So there's
4 last cannon.
4 last cannon shots, hitting on 6s, re-rolling.
Oh, down at 8, I don't know what that means.
Well, it doesn't matter with Overwatch, so 6s to hit.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So 1 hit, and wounded on 3s. Gets the wound. Alright, saving on Invulnerable 5, because of the Demon save. We save it, right, that's good news. Bolt guns, heavy bolters rather, so they've all missed. And then the 3 shots at the Habit Launcher, and that misses also. Right, so that's going to charge in 7, so that's more than enough to get in. And so easy charge for Mortarion, just burst through the wall. I wish we could have just got round a little bit closer to the Demon Prince, because we can do our Host of Plagues at the start of the turn, so we couldn't get close enough. He's just too big of a model. So we will do Host of Plagues first at the start of the fight phase. So on a 4+, things will start hitting D3 mortal wounds. So the Rhino first is within 7, so it's not going to be triggered. The Land Raider isn't triggered. The bikes are within 7, and they're not triggered either. But the Demon Prince is out of 7. We wish he was just there for a bit of a beating. So Mortarion, he's going to just attack first. We're going to do it with silence, and he's going to do an eviscerating blow. He's got 6 attacks hitting on 2s against this Land Raider. Rerolls 1s, so it gets them all. And this is strength 16, so it would wound on 2s, but also on top of that is your toughness is down by 1 because of the presence of Mortarion. So wound on 2s with rerolls of 1 because it's a plague weapon, and that's all wounds. So 6 wounds, it's AP -4, so you're saving on 6s. And 1 is made, but 5 haven't. So we've got D6 mortal wound, not mortal wounds, just D6 damage each dice here. Oh, that wasn't very good, but there's 5, 8, 10, 11, 12. So that is the Land Raider seen off. So does that explode on a 6? This is the hard, dangerous part. It does not explode. Right, so the Land Raider's gone down, and the Berserkers, they get out. No casualties in the blast. Right, so that's the end of the turn for Death Guard, and we've got 3 points for Master of the Warp for our D3 one there. We've got Kingslayer, but Kharn is the Warlord. It's going to be a hard task to get the grips with him. And we've thrown away a card. It was Witch Hunter, which is obviously not what you want to pull when you're against the World Eaters, because they just do not believe in that kind of thing. So on to World Eaters turn 2 now. Right, World Eaters turn 2. Pulled psychological warfare objective, should I say, and it's not going to come in for them because every unit that is on the board will not take morale checks. The Plague Marine unit that's down to 3 guys up there, it would take 3 to cause a morale check, so that's not going to happen because the unit will be wiped. And the other unit of Plague Marines is in the Land Raider, which is not going to be cracked open anytime soon. So that card is off the table for now, but they will get, no matter what happens, 4 points for Khan being on this objective. And while he's on that objective, he's going to give his 1 inch radius of influence for this Land Raider to reroll 1s. Defiler's just going to have to go alone. Not getting any rerolls this time, unless he uses a stratagem, possibly. But anyway, firepower ready to be put on Mortarion. And then we've got the unit of Compositors ready to go in on him. And then there's even the Demon Prince fancies his own exhaustion even further than the Demon Prince if he can take on Nurgle's Herald. Over here, the bikes that have failed to die, they've moved on and they're going to try and take out the Herald. So if that happens, that is really bad news. We'd really try to take those 3 bikes out because we saw this coming, but it just didn't happen. They just couldn't die. Over here, bikes swing around the side here. They're going to put some shots on these units because there's the Brightbringer in there. This is a one that the World Eaters need. It's defend objective 3. So they've got the work cut out for them trying to carve through all those poxwalkers. The Rhino that advances from all the way behind the wall. It's not going to be able to charge this turn, but it's just making a nuisance of itself. It was certain death if it just lingered there with the Demon Prince and the Land Raider. But that is it. So we're going to go straight on to shooting for the World Eaters. Yeah. Right, so shooting over there, we might as well start over there. 5 poxwalkers go down to the bolt guns, and more bolt guns here on the Herald. Takes a wound, so he's saved quite well. And Mortarion takes some stick. He gets a crack grenade off his bonds, but it rolls off and explodes somewhere else. Bolt pistols don't do anything. Even overcharges a plasma pistol, but misses. So Miasma of Pestilence doing well. But now it's time for heavy shots from the Land Raider. So Khan is within 1 inch to give them rerolls of 1. So las cannons hitting on 4s because of Miasma of Pestilence. 3 hits. 3s to wound. Such hard shots. Oh my god. 3. Have to save on 4s. This is how Mortarion can die. But not today. 3 saves. What a star. Those were the most deadly shots going. And he survived. Right, heavy bolters. He was extremely lucky there.
Never underestimate the heavy bolters.
So 4s to hit. So 3 hits there, but you get real 1s.
So I get 1
Khan. So yeah, that's a 5s. So there's 2. Gonna have to save on 4s. And we'll get them both. He's saving like a champ here.
What was the saying about heavy bolters?
Havoc launcher. 3 shots this time. And reroll 1s because of Khan. So 2 hits. And 2 wounds. Havoc launchers finally doing something, but it's saved. So that is spectacular from Mortarion.
That's pretty sickening.
Those last cannons are extremely scary. I could have been D6 damage 3 times, and that could have possibly killed Mortarion. Wow, scary.
Defiler. Forge.
Right, so they're going to use the last command point for Demon Forge. It's going to allow the Defiler to just rotate it. I know it does count as a move, but we're just doing it for visual purposes. But it hasn't moved, but Demon Forge gives you a reroll to hit and to wound. So this is on Mortarion. Very, very dangerous if it can hit.
So battle cannon?
Battle cannon, yeah.
Big 6.
It's getting 5 shots, it's not too bad. It's ballistic skill 4 plus, but it's 5s because we've still got Miasma of Pestilence on us. So 5s to hit. Just 1 hit. Right, so 3 to reroll there. Because 4s do count, so you can't actually reroll those, even though they turn out to be misses later on.
So 3 rerolls. 3
rerolls because of Demon Forge, and they miss as well. Bad times. So just 1 hit and wounds on a 3 against Mortarion with a battle cannon. and does hurt. So 4 invulnerable, save, no, doesn't happen. Do I want to use a stratagem for this? Don't want to take D3 wounds. No, we're not going to use a stratagem, just going to allow it. So D3 mortal wounds, no, it's not mortal wounds, it's just 1 damage, that's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so disgustingly resilient. Does not make it, so he's taken an extra wound. So he's taken 7 wounds now. Nuggle would be proud. Yeah, so Reaper autocannon. You wish it was a Hades autocannon. So re-roll those 2 misses because of Demon Forge. And 3 hits. Need 4s to wound. And re-roll fails because of Demon Forge. Okay, so 3 strong shots. Sitting on 4s. Get all but 1, and then disgustingly resilient. Does not happen, so he's taken another wound. So he's taken 8 so far. Okay, so Mortarian's got 10 wounds left. He's taken 8 so far, so he hasn't dropped down a tier yet, but he's close. So straight on the charges. The bikes have gone in. Can't do anything about that. They've got nothing to Overwatch. And here we've done Overwatch with Mortarian. The Demon Prince is going in first. He takes a wound because Mortarian throws a couple of Phosphex bombs at him. So Demon Prince is going to charge into him. The Berserkers are going to charge into him. They're going to try and not to get close to the bloat drone. Right, so the Demon Prince, he charges quite a long way. He gets to, because he can fly, he just flies over Mortarian, lands on the other side, and allows the Berserkers to come in this way and stay away from the bloat drone. Right, so we're going to go straight into it, and we've got the Host of Plagues from Mortarian. So it's at the start of the fight phase, so before anything happens, going to see if we can dish out some mortal wounds. So on a 4+, the Demon Prince. Yes, he's going to take D3 mortal wounds. He takes 2. The Berserkers on a 4. No. I'll tell you what, we're going to use a stratagem to re-roll that. Or should we? Or should we just chance it? That is a really hard decision. Right, so we are going to re-roll, use the command re-roll stratagem for this. No! We're thinking if we killed some Berserkers that would lessen the damage on us, but that's not coming off. Right, so we're into the fight phase now. The Demon Prince is going to fight first, so pretty hard choice, because we'll see why in a second. So the Demon Prince is going to fight. He's got 2 sets of Malefic Talons, or a set of Malefic Talons. He's got 8 attacks in total, being a World Eater. Hitting on 2s normally, but 3s because of Miasma of Pestilence. And gets to reroll 1s. Oh, that is crucial, or could end up being crucial. So 6 hits. He's strength 7, needing 4s to wound. Alright, these are damage 2 each, aren't they?
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to need to save these on our invulnerable 4s. And again, he's done well. He's only filled 1, and then it's 2 damage for the Malefic Talon. So 2 disgustingly resilient rolls. Right, he's taken 2 wounds. So that means he's now on 8, I think, left. He's taken 10. So he's got 8 left, Mortarian. Right, so I just had a quick check, and with Mortarian on his, with 8 wounds left, he's now on his middle tier of damage. So he's dropped an attack, which is crucial for this. But we're going to fight the Berserkers with our, what's it called again?
Divine Intervention.
No, well, it might as well be, but it's counter-offensive. It's cost us our last 2 command points, but it's going to be worth it. So we're going to do Reaping Scythe, which we've got 5 attacks times 3. These are deadly. So hitting on 2s against these Berserkers. And we'll reroll 1s because we are legend. So they all hit. The strength 8, so we're needing 2s to wound against these Berserkers. And then we'll reroll 1s because of Plague Weapon. Oh, just 2 drop there. Right, all these to save on 5s for those Berserkers. Alright, so they've lost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is the unit. We're able to take those out before the strike. hard choice there for the World Eaters to decide who was going to fight first, who was going to take the damage, but they believed in the Demon Prince to bring home the bacon with the 2 damage each, but perhaps it should have been the other way. Who knows? This is where you learn. But first, so that's the end of the turn. Mixed results there for the World Eaters. They've more than halved Mortarion on his wounds, and they score 4 points for this objective with Kharn. I forgot to say that this combat here, handbags are done, nobody does any damage, so the Herald still stands and doesn't do any damage on the bikes, but that is it. So we've lost some unity, the World Eaters, but they've done some significant damage on Mortarion, and they're starting to get points now. That's 4 points. Death Guard turn 3 now. We've decided to get some more Plague Marines out, so they've gotten out of the Land Raider and advanced, so that's where they've ended up. Well, everyone has. The Land Raiders moved around this way to get a shot at the Defiler up the road here. So as you can see, the Demon Prince is now just gone, just reduced to ash. It was basically all his doing. He's such a vicious model, this guy. He gives Pestilential Fallout and Smite and everything else. Just the Demon Prince just could not withstand it, just took mortal wounds and just died there without question. The Herald here in the Psychic Phase, he fixes 1 wound on Mortarion, which means Mortarion is now back on his full band of health, but he's still taken 9 wounds, so he's halfway gone still. This Blowthrone's moved up. It's going to try and get into combat with the Land Raider, because I don't think we can sustain another round of las cannons from the Land Raider on Mortarion, and especially we've failed our miasma of pestilence psychic power, so we're not at a -1 to hit anymore. So it's all up to the Blowthrone to silence those las cannons by getting into combat. And over here, the Noxious Blightbringer, he's gotten out of the lines here, and we're going to have to take out these bikes because we've got hold the line. We just need to eliminate these bikes and we can score a point. So he's got a job to do, and we've got Plague Marines up here ready to lend a hand as well, or a tentacle, depends on which model it is. Demon Prince moves up as well. He did, I can't remember what he did. Oh yeah, gift of contagion on these bikes, but failed it. So he's just going to have to get in a charge on either the Rhino or the bikes. We'll have to see what he does. These Poxwaters stay put. Right, shooting phase. We're going to do these Plague Marines as 2 Blight launchers and a plasma gun on the champion. He is in rapid fire range of 18 to these bikes, but we're going to do the Blight launchers first at the bikes. And 3 hits, better than the last time they fired. And strength 6, needing 3s to wound. So 2 wounds on the bikes, it's AP -2. Both go through and it's D3 damage each. So the first bike takes 2 damage, so 1 bike's gone. Second bike is another 2 damage, so 2 bikes go down without question. And then the plasma gun, 2 hits, 2 wounds, 7 on 6s for the bike, and he's gone as well. That's the whole bike squad gone, and that's going to free us up for hold the line, so he doesn't even need to get his hands dirty. Right, coming around for the Land Raider, it's going to fire at the Defiler. So we're in range with all weapons, so the las cannons first. So we've got 2 hits, 3s to wound. There's 1 wound, 7 on demonic 5. Gets it. Right, okay. Heavy bolters. They all hit. 5s to wound. It's pretty good. 4, 7 on 4s. So 2 slip through. And then the Havoc Launcher, how many shots? 6. Excellent. Okay, that's another good roll. 5s. No. Right, so he's just taken 2 wounds. And that's it. Not more we can do about that. The Blood Drone's going to fire into the Land Raider to see what it can do. So it can reroll wounds because of Mortarion. So we're going to get 10 shots out of it. So right when we need high numbers, that's what we get. So another 3. So we're needing 5s to wound the Land Raider. And we get a re-roll because we are attacking with a Plague Weapon. And if you're within 7 of Mortarion with a Plague Weapon, you can re-roll. So we shall. But not very well. So we've got 5 wounds on the Land Raider. So we need to save on 3. So it's only AP -1. And 2 go through. Right, Mortarion, he's going to fire at the Lantern. We're going to do that at the Land Raider. It's on a 2. So he hits. So it's an 18-inch beam. So it's the nearest bit of him to the nearest bit of the Land Raider, but we've done it so it just skims past the Blood Drone, doesn't touch the Blood Drone luckily. So it's going to go like that, but there's nobody at the end of it. So it's just the Land Raider, so it's a strength 8 to wound, but he doesn't get it, and it's not a Plague Weapon, so don't get a reroll. So beam just shapes past the Blood Drone. Alright, so we're going to go into charge phases. We've already done it with the Demon Prince. He charges the Rhino and the bikes. Got a 7-inch charge there, so he's deep within that combat already. And now we're going to do the Blood Drone against the Land Raider. So this can overwatch and doesn't get any hits unfortunately, but Heavy Bolter next. So 1 hit. Rerolls those ones because Khan is still behind the tank. It's just 1, needing 5 to wound. Does get it, save on a 4. Does not happen. Disgustingly resilient. Yep. Absorb that one. Habit Launcher gets 5. And 6 is needed. So reroll that 1. Just 1 hit. Needing 5 again. Does not get it right. So it's 5-inch distance, but we only need a 4 because you only need to end up with 1 inch. And we make it so that it's gonna. We're not going to achieve anything in combat, I don't think, but we will. Just silence that Land Raider for a turn, which is crucial when Mortarion has not got Miasma of Pestilence on. These two together are a fantastic combo, and we've got another one of these on the way. Deadly. Right, we've done the assault phase then. We did actually 2 wounds with the damage 2 weapon on the Land Raider, so it's taken 4 wounds now. The Demon Prince just totally ruins the whole thing. Misses with basically every single attack, doesn't kill a single biker, and then the Herald shows them how it's done and kills a bike. The bikes fight back and they fight well. They've put the Herald on his last wound, so he's got 1 left, and the Rhino doesn't contribute, misses all of its attacks. So all of a sudden we've put ourselves in a really good way here. There's still a unit of Berserkers in this Land Raider, but the World Eaters are definitely
at death still.
Yeah, it's on the last legs here. It's the end of Death Guard turn 3, and we get 1 point for hold the line because we destroyed those bikes crucially. So just 1 point there. Right, World Eaters turn 3 now. They've pulled objective cards. They need to defend objective 2, which unfortunately is the one that's furthest away from everything. Right over there, but they have got overwhelming firepower, which could be possible. So the Rhino's broken off the combat here. It's trying to get itself line breaker for the future. Khan, he's going on a charge as you would expect. He's got eyes for the guy with the big bell, so he's going to try and cover some ground there. This Land Raider's pulled back from the combat here, and it's going to allow the Defiler to shoot first, ask questions later, and then hit it with a big claw if needs be. But before that happened, the Berserkers got out. They've moved round here. They're going to try and finish off Mortarion. This could very well happen. There's an insane amount of attacks amongst these guys. Mortarion's going to have to roll like a champion again. But that is it. They've got to get overwhelming firepower to keep this going. Right, we're going to start shooting with the Defiler. It did move just to get close enough to assault later, but we're going to do Battle Cannon. 4 shots. So hitting on 5s because it moved. So 2 hits, wounded on 3s, gets them both. Right, saving on Demonic 5, saves. Both go through. D3 damage each. So 2 D3 damage. that's 3, 4. Gonna have to disgustingly resilient against. So get 2, fail 2. So it's taking 5 wounds, he's halfway dead. Right, the Reaper autocannon, 4 shots, hitting on 5s. Not a sausage. Right.
Oh well.
Double flamer. This one's the most potent one on it at this range. Only 4 hits.
Cool as well.
5s to wound. Just the 1, so it's AP -1, 7 on 4. And that is a 6. Good stuff.
What a heaver, John.
Alright, so we're doing bolt guns now. We're doing bolt pistols, a crack grenade, and a plasma pistol. So we've already done the bolt pistols. 2 wounds on Mortarion, we're going to have to save. Get them both, right. What are you doing now? Crack grenade.
Yes.
This is missed.
Plasma.
Plasma has hit.
And
3's to wound. Wounds, right. 7 on a 4. Does not make it, and then it's disgustingly resilient. Saves. Oh, just heart sinks for the old berserkers there. Right, so these charging into Mortarion. He throws his Phosphex bombs back at them, kills one, so they're needing a 4-inch charge. They're in. And how about the Exalted Champion? Because he is amongst them. There he is. He's got the black shoulder pads, and he's going to make it in also. So there they go. Right, so the berserkers are in. Did Overwatch on this Defiler, and he's in. Took a wound. He also did heal a wound at the start of the turn, so he's taken 2. But he's probably going to crush that blow drone. Absolutely hates those now. Right, and Khan, he survived a snapshot off with his plasma pistol, so he's got a 9-inch charge to make.
can't he do it?
Can't he do it? Terrible, terrible. Here he goes. Has he got the blessings of Khan this day?
Do his dice good.
Oh, close. Very
No
close.
cigar can't.
Right, so before we do any hits, we're going to have to do Host of Plagues for Mortarion. This is the only unit within 7, so we're going to have to get these on a 4. No, it's not happening. Happened at the start, but when we've needed it, it hasn't been there. So they're going to get to fight with all of their attacks, hoping we could take a few down, lessen the damage, but he will come. Actually, no, there's the Exalted Champion in there. See if he takes some damage. Yes, he's going to take D3. The full 3, right. So he's damaged. Right, Exalted Champions have 4 wounds, wasn't enough to kill him off, so he's going to be crucial in this combat because he's going to give all of these berserkers the ability to re-roll all failed wounds, and that's exactly what you want against someone like Mortarion. Right, so Defiler's going to fight. He's got 4 attacks, he's hitting on 4s. And he's hit twice. And wounds on 2s because these are so high strength. Oh, God.
What a heap of junk.
Only 1. Right, so it's sitting on a demonic 5. No. And it's D6 damage, the Defiler Claw.
What a
Just
heap of junk.
terrible from the Defiler, right? Disgustingly resilient. Do not get it right. He's got 4 wounds left, the blow drone. And it'll be hilarious if he just gets away with it this time again. It's the most hated unit in the Death Guard. So here's where they'll have to stop. So this is serious business. I wouldn't be surprised if Mortarion gets torn out the sky here. This is going to be ferocious. There's a lot of berserkers ready to fight. Right, so we've got this 15 attacks with the axes first, and we're going to just do these twice in a row because I can't intervene, run out of stratagems. So 15 attacks, hitting on 3s, and wounded on 5s. But there's wasn't the greatest amount of hits we've ever seen. And wounded on 5s, but can re-roll because of the Exalted Champion. But that was pretty good. And there's an extra one. So these are AP -1, the axes, so Mortarion 7 on 4s. This is the kind of wounds that kill him. And as I say that, that's what happens. So he's disgustingly resilient. Oh, only saves 1, so he's taken a further 3 wounds. Alright, Mortarion's only got 6 wounds left now, and we're going to have to do that again because the fight twice, we're just lumping it all together for quickness. So the axes once more, so they get to fight twice. So it's looking okay, better than the last time. Right, wounded on 5s, and that is good as well. And re-roll those 3 because of the Exalted, 4 because of those Exalted Champion. Right, it's just one more. So another 5, we're going to have to save better than we did the last time. Here we go. No. Fail 4. He's run out of steam now. Disgustingly resilient, save us. Save us. Oh, only make 1, so 3 more wounds. So Mortarion is on his last 3 wounds now. He's teetering. It's the failure to get Miasma of Pestilence off has really cost us here. And with this Exalted Champion being amongst them, it's ferocious. But there's still more attacks to come. There's a chainsaw to fight twice and a power sword. So 6.
Chainsaw.
Right, so we've got 8 attacks from the champion with a power sword. He's hitting on 3s and he's hit well. This is looking like the end for Mortarion. Wounded on 5s with the power sword. And he rerolls to wound, so 4 to reroll. And gets another 1, so 3. This could be it. Saving on 4s and need our invulnerable saves to work. We'll get 2. He's been lucky so far, but not in this round of combat. So 1 slips through. Disgustingly resilient. Does not make it right. He's got 2 wounds left, Mortarion. And there's 8 attacks from a chainsword guy. We're including, once again, all these dice we're just doing twice, as if they're fighting twice, just to make things easier. 3s. Right, he's really filled this one. So 4 hits, needing 5s. And rerolls filled wounds. Gets 3, still could be enough. Saving on 3s this time. We've got 2, filled 1. Disgustingly resilient. No, we're on our last wound now, and the Exalted Champion is ready to fight. Right, Exalted Champion, he's got a chain sword and he's got an axe. So the axes are in red, so he's hitting on 2s because he's very good in combat. And he's hit them all. The white is the chain sword. So these are all wounded on 5s. And he gets to re-roll these failed ones. He's only converted 1. Oh, there we go. So 2 from the axe, 1 from the chainsword. Oh, so 2 from the axe, saving on 4s. I think this is the end. Oh, 1 slips through, and disgustingly resilient. We need to make this. Our Mortarion is laid low. Let's see if he goes down in a puff of plague smoke. Right, so Mortarion, he's not dead. Demons never are dead, but he's been banished for now. And he's got putrid demise, so he explodes on a 4+. Things start taking mortal wounds. So the berserkers, they take D3 mortal wounds. Yep, so 2 mortal wounds for the berserkers, and the champion, let's see if we can kill him out of spite. No, he's going to survive. So Mortarion banished. That's disappointing, because if we just got one of our tricks off there, if we just got the Host of Plagues and killed a few berserkers, we could have survived that. Or if we just got Miasma of Pestilence off, that crucial time we would have survived. But there he is, he's gone. First demise of Mortarion.
Hurrah!
Right, we've done the combat over here as well, and 1 bike dies. The Demon Prince again misses all of his attacks with the wounded and stuff. And the Herald kills another bike, and the bike doesn't do anything to the Herald. So, you know, terrible from that Demon Prince. He's on the worst game of his life. But success from these World Eaters. Failure from the Defiler. And is there any points there? Did not get overwhelming firepower, although Mortarion's destroyed. Didn't do it with shooting, but what they did get is slay the Warlord, because he was the Warlord. So that is really hard to bear, losing your Demon Primarch. Death Guard turn 4. We've pulled a very good objective. It's one specific to the Death Guard. It's symbol of the Fly Lord. So what we need to do is make sure we hold 3 objectives, no more, no less. So we've got this one with the pox waters over there, another one with the other unit of pox waters in the corner, and then the third is this unit holding this one. So there's 3. So we'll score D3 victory points because of that, and then we've got defend objective 5, which is here. So we're not going to be able to get this one anytime soon. And Kingslayer, so Khan is pretty much on his own over there, but we really haven't got the firepower because this bike and the Rhino are still alive. He's not the closest unit for this yet, so we'll have to see how this turns out. But infuriated by the loss of our Demon Primarch, we're going to take it to these Berserkers. We've got the Bloodjohns flown out of combat, going to spurt these, and then we've got Rat of Fire and Business over here. And probably the squad will be halved just off the Malignant Playcaster alone. He is deadly. Right, psychic phase is complete, and as predicted, the Playcaster does most of the damage. Pestilential Fallout kills the Exalted Champion on his last wound. He's dead now. And then Smite, Pestilential Fallout kills another 3 Berserkers. The Demon Prince through the doorway casts Gift of Contagion on them. They're now at a -1 strength. And then the Herald finally finishes off that bike with a smite of his own. So finally got rid of that bike. That was really hard work, but still lament the loss of Mortarion. But we're going to take it to these now. Vengeance is going to be swift. So we're going to do some Rat of Fire and bolt guns and plasma guns at them. See what happens. Right, so I said see what happens, and nothing happened. Fired up everything. Didn't even kill one of them. Rat of Fire and plasma gun, bolt guns. Even a blight grenade from the Playcaster. Everyone's still alive. And so all this squad was a massive disappointment. Land Raider picks up the slack. So we fired the Havoc Launcher and the Heavy Bolters at the squad, reduced them to 1 guy left. Now we've got the Las Cannons. We're going to do those at the Land Raider down the stretch here. Oh, it's not very good. 2 hits, 3s to wound. Yeah, there we go. So 7 on 5s with the Land Raider. Both go through, 2d6 damage. Oh, there's a 6 and a 3. 9. 5 wounds left on the Land Raider now. The Bloodjohn, because there's only 1 Berserker left, I'm sure he'll fail his leadership test, but he shot at the Defiler, didn't do anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire the squad up here at the Land Raider, because if we just get 1 more wound on it, it'll be hitting on 5s and it's worth it. And we can't fire a Khan because that Rhino is pretty near. So we're going to do Plasma Gun. It's not overheating, so that's not going to matter too much. Strength 7, needing a 5. We'll get it, right? He's saving on a 5. Gets it, right? It's up to the Blight Launchers now. So there's 2 of them, 1 high. That's 3 hits. And we'll get 1 wound. It's AP -2, so he's saving on 4. Oh, gets it as well. So no, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Alright, so straight into assault phases. We've tried to assault the Rhino with the Demon Prince. It was a big charge. Took a wound, even with the suppurating plate armour, and didn't make the charge obviously, so that's why we're not there. But we're going to try a big charge with the Lord of Contagion. He's known to fill short charges. Let's see if he can do long charges. Going to need an 11 to get to him. Well, a 1 isn't a good start, so it's a total fail. Don't even need to roll another dice to know that's not going to work. And we're not going to sacrifice the Lord of Contagion. We're just going to hope that he fails his morale check. So he's lost 6 of his comrades. So he's going to take a -6. So he's got 1 plus 6. He survives. Well, that is insulting. So we've got D3 victory points for Symbol of the Fly Lord, because we're holding 3 objectives. 1 in the distance, 1 in the distance over there with the Pox Waters, and 1 here. So D3. Oh, just the 1. Damn it. Okay, so the World Eaters could be in the ascendancy here. They could find their way back into the game. They've got some points to grab. Scour the Skies could meet up with overwhelming firepower as well. This is on 4 wounds left. There's las cannons trained on it. This is hitting on 4s now, but the Defiler's also got a heavy flamer to contribute. That should go down, and when it does, that could be 2 victory points there. This guy marches on. He's going to try and kill himself a sorcerer. Khorne likes that sort of thing. And Khorne, he's advanced over to here. He's going where the action is. He wants skulls. And the Defiler's moved on. He's going to try and take on the Demon Prince. So that Rhino's turned around. It's going to shoot the Herald in the back as well. So the dying hard here are the World Eaters and the scoring at the same time. Another poor turn, like the last one from the Death Guard. The World Eaters could be back in it. Right, so the Land Raider's going to try and cinch up these victory points. So we've got 4 las cannons at the Plague Drone. Hitting on 4s because it's damaged. Only 1 hit. Not a good start from it. But still 1 hit could do it. It's a las cannon. 3's to wound. Gets that wound. Demonic save of 5.
Oh,
Makes it denied. Heavy bolted with 6 shots now. And 3 hits. 5's to wound. Still tough. 2 wounds. 4's to save. Gets them both.
What?
This guy just terrorizes the World Eaters. Right, and then the Havoc Launcher, how many shots? 6. So when it counts, it finally gets loaded.
Finally.
And 4. That's pretty good.
4 to wound.
Yep. 5's to wound. 2. Right, 3's to save. Disgustingly resilient. Does not make it. So he takes a wound. He's got 3 wounds left. Okay, so the Defiler is going to have a go at him. So he is within an inch of Khorne, so can reroll 1s to hit, but the flamer's not going to matter. So 2 dice. So that's going to be 10 automatic hits from the heavy flamer. So wounded on 5s. Not good. Only 1. And saves. Right, battle cannon. How many shots are we going to see out of this one? 5. Okay, so he's hitting on 5s because he moved, but reroll 1s because it can't. So 2 hits, wound on 3s. This could be it. Gets them both right. Saving on demonic 5s. No, fill them both, so it is 2d3 damage. So 3 in total. We've only got 3 wounds left, so we'll have to do all of these, or at least 1. We'll make 2. 1, 2. Fill 1 though. 2 wounds left, and the Reaper autocannon is left to go. So 4 shots, hitting on 5s, rerolling 1s, so 3 hits. No, 3, yeah. Excuse me. Right, 4's to wound. Oh dear.
Take some of that.
4's to save. Oh, 2 slip through. This is the final 2 wounds as well, but unlike a regular autocannon, it's just damage 1, a Reaper autocannon, so need to save 1 of these. One at a time. That's some drama. Oh, he's on his last wound, here he goes. Oh, he's dead. He's finally succumbed. Nobody's around to see it explode, so it will just go down in a puff of green smoke. So it's finally gone, and the World Eaters rejoice. So last shot, last bullet, and it brings home the bacon. So it's got Scour the Skies because of that, and overwhelming firepower. So finally that is achieved, and it's a unit that the World Eaters just do not like. Gone. Charges for the World Eaters. The Berserker has gone in, survived the Overwatch, threw a crack grenade at him, did survive it. The Defiler's gone in against the Demon Prince. There's a fight that he probably could win. And the Rhino, after shooting, didn't do anything against the Herald, but he's charged in now. He's trying to get lucky. The Herald's on his last wound, so it's quite possible he'll just get run over. Okay, so we've wrapped up the combats. The Berserker champion, he gave it a good go, but he was just hit by the corrosive staff, the stick, and killed. The Demon Prince got very lucky on his disgustingly resilient rolls, took 4 wounds in that exchange, and put 3 wounds on the Defiler, so he could have easily been killed, but he's made it through. The Herald survived getting rammed in the back of the Rhino and turned around and put a wound on it himself, so actually did pretty well in the fight over there. Did pretty well here, but we lost that. So it's 2 points for the World Eaters this turn, and they're getting into the middle of the board and getting into the Death Guard's deployment zone. So they've already picked up Slay the Warlord. They're looking to pick up all the secondary points as well here. Death Guard turn 5 in the dying stages of the game. For objectives, we've got blood and guts and no prisoners, so the combat is happening all in the middle here. So we're going into it. We're going to try and see what we can do. We've got a Defiler here. We could possibly take this down in combat if we can weaken it with mortal wounds from the Sorcerer. He's just so good. Love him. These coming out around the side, they're going to put some shots on the Rhino now that the Herald is backed out of that combat. The Land Raiders swung around a little bit to continue this tank battle between these two Land Raiders. I think he's going to finally triumph this turn. I can just feel it. These Plague Marines on the roof have come to shoot this Rhino as well. We're just going to try and get rid of this. It's being a nuisance, let's get rid of it. And then if we can damage the Defiler, there's just Khan left to go. He's hiding in amongst the vehicles. He's not really hiding, but every time I want to shoot at him, we've still got Kingslayer, but every time I want to do something to him, there's another unit just in front of us, and there he is. He's just running around, ready to use that axe. He's on the verge of using it. You could easily just kill everyone here, and that would just be insulting, but it's rather apt that Khan will be one of the last units standing here, if all goes well, but it might all go wrong, and he might just chop everyone to bits. So let's see how this psychic phase develops. Alright, very disappointing psychic phase. After I talked the Malefic Playcaster up, he failed to deliver the goods. Failed all of his psychic tests, didn't do anything to the Defiler, and he's got so many mortal wounds up his sleeve, and he just didn't do anything. But we smote the Defiler with the Herald, with the Demon Prince, put 3 mortal wounds on him, and then the Herald did Fleshy Abundance on the Demon Prince, and got 2 wounds back for him, so he's only taken 3. There's still got 5 wounds left, so he's going to fight the good fight, but he's up against it. He's staring down a Defiler and Khan ready to swoop in, but we've got our shooting phase to do now. We just really want to take out this Rhino, just get it out of the way, then all we'll have to worry about is the Defiler and Khan. Now, shooting phase for the Death Guard did not go well at all. Blew up the Land Raider with the Death Guard Land Raider with the las cannons, just that was expected, but over here this Rhino's on its last wound, and basically we lost all of our plasma guns. Overcharged this one, killed himself. All of the blight launchers missed, that was terrible. Plasma gun over here, overcharged, killed himself, and all the bolt guns did nothing to the Rhino, but we've ended up with this on its last wound. So we did achieve no prisoners by taking out a unit that almost didn't. We're almost having to think that we might have to charge in the Poxwaters in on this Rhino. We might still do that, but it's all down to the Demon Prince, and we don't fancy his chances now that those mortal wounds didn't work from the Malefic Playcaster. So it's been poor 2 rounds for the Death Guard, and we're fighting to keep this lead. Alright, so they've done the combats, fight for the life between the Defiler and the Demon Prince, and they both turn out to be terrible. Demon Prince fails all of his wounds, and that's really hard to take, and the Defiler puts 2 wounds on the Demon Prince, so we got lucky on our damage we received on the Demon Prince, but we just didn't do the output, and now that will fight first in this next round, so we're just surely going to die now. But we did achieve no prisoners, but we didn't achieve blood and guts, and that's the one that we wanted, and we're surprised we didn't get it. So here we go then. World Eaters turn 5. Right, we've got World Eaters turn 5 now. I'm starting to lose my voice. So, and it's a good job because there's only 3 units left for the World Eaters. Got the Rhino, but the last 2 units are probably the most dangerous. You've got the Defiler, and Khan is ready to get Gorechild revving up. So he's going to go in against the Herald, and because he will, he'll no doubt kill him with ease, and they've got Rise to Glory, so that's a point for them there if he can just achieve that. Only a fluke will a Herald survive, and the Defiler, it will surely take out this Prince. He's only got 3 wounds left, the Prince. And the Defiler was damaged before, but at the start of your turn you heal a wound, so now he's on his first profile again. Right, so Khan's charged in, he's attacking both the Prince and the Herald, so who's he going to attack first?
He's going to go for the Herald first with 7 attacks.
Right, because he attacks twice, so the Herald with 7 attacks, hitting on 2s, gets them all, and what's he wounded on? It'll be 3s no doubt. Strength 5, Gorechild, yeah, so 3s to wound.
It's actually strength 6.
Yep, so it's 3s to wound, so he's made 4. I need to save these on invulnerable 5, so we'll only make 1, and that is surely going to have us killed. So is it D3 damage a pop?
It is, yeah.
Right, so D3 damage 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to have to save all of these on Disgustingly Resilient. And only make 1, so he's dead outright. Right, so Khan slays the Herald, and because he slays the Herald, his Warlord trait, he gets a +1 to his attacks and strength. So now he's strength 8 against his Demon Prince and an extra attack, so he's got 5. No, he's got 8 hits to try and get him with. So we're hitting on 2s. So only 2 fails. Khan cannot re-roll in combat because they go on friendly units, but there's nobody around to do that. So it's strength 8, he's wounding this Demon Prince on 3s.
Strength 6.
Okay, he's not actually strength 8, he's strength 7, so we're going to need 4s to wound against this Demon Prince. And he gets 4, so we're going to need to save these. What's the AP of Gorechild?
-4.
-4, right, so we're going to take these on invulnerable 5s. Oh, we'll make 2, fail 2, so D3 mortal wounds each. 2D3 and 4 right, in total. So we have to Disgustingly Resilient these. We're going to need 2 to survive. We do get 2 on our last wound, and the Defiler is ready to attack. This is not looking good. On our last wound, the Demon Prince, Khan almost hacks the skull off, which is hanging on by a thread. The Defiler, he's got 4 attacks again, and he's hit twice. 2s to wound because it's such a high strength. Oh, he double 1. Oh my word, he survived. Right then, the Demon Prince, he's going to attack Khan because we've got Kingslayer.
Oh my goodness.
Well, this was a turnout. Right, we've got to try and hack Khan's head off, and we're even going to turn him around just out of respect. Here we go. Can you return the favour? Right, we get all hits. We're using the Hellforged blade that he's got. It's 3s to wound. Please wound. He's wounded them all, right? It's AP -2. Khan's going to have to save on his invulnerable 4. Oh, he's made 3 of them. Failed 1, so he's taken 3 wounds just off the Hellforged sword. So almost killed him, but almost killed him back. So what a turnout! This fight of the ages here in the middle. Who would have thought? So 1 point for the World Eaters that turn. Thought it was going to be more, but that is just what happened. So 1 point. Right, so because we're going into turn 6, we're going to see if the game continues. Do this on a Nurgly dice. On a 3+. It does go on to the 6th turn. Death Guard turn 6 now. We're surely in the last turn. If it goes on any longer, then I just don't know what I'm going to do. So the Land Raider goes around the side. It's got a shot at the Rhino. That should see that off. It's on its last wound. These have backed off a little bit just to hold this object for some reason. And the Lord of Contagion, there he is. He's going to try and make a 6-inch charge into the Defiler. He's notorious for failing these charges. We've given him easy tasks before and he's failed, so now let's see what he can do. We're going to do some static tests, see if we can get some mortal wounds on the Defiler again. We can't afford to fail it this time. And the surviving Demon Prince, we're going to see what he can do. He might just smite Khan dead, or we might put that on the Defiler and then chop him with our axe, see what happens. Or we might give him a backhand with a claw. But psychic tests first, see what happens. Alright, so we've done the psychic phase and it was fruitful. We did all the psychic powers we could do with the Malefic Playcasters. Got a couple of mortal wounds, and we even smote with the Demon Prince onto the Defiler. The Defiler is now on his last wound. We didn't choose to put smites on Khan just because I don't think the Chaos Gods would appreciate two champions going at it. I think the Chaos Gods appreciate however this fight turns out. But the Defiler's got no business being in this fight, so he's on death's door now. He's got one wound left, and we're going to try and charge him with a few characters here. So on to shooting phase. We're going to just see off this Rhino with the Land Raider. Okay, Operation Kill the Rhino with the Land Raider was a success. Almost wasn't. Saved a load of saves on 6s, but it's gone. Flipped over and exploded. Well, it didn't explode, but you catch me drift. Alright, we've got the assaults now. This is the only one that matters. We've got a 6-inch charge. It's needing a 5 on the dice to make it. In on the Defiler from the Lord of Contagion. He's notorious for failing these. And he just makes it on a 6. So he gets in there. And we're going to put the Lord of Contagion, not the Lord of Contagion, the Malefic Playcaster in as well. Since it's on its last wound, we can't allow it to escape. Alright, so we're going to go straight into the fights then, see what turns up here. We're going to attack with the Lord of Contagion first, because he's a charger. So we've got 4 attacks. And we hit on 2s, and we reroll 1s because we're next to the Demon Prince. So we'll get all hits there, and with strength 6, we're needing 5s to wound. To Plague Weapon, reroll 1s, so we only get 1. It's AP minus 3, so saving on a demonic 5 invulnerable. Doesn't make it, so it's instant 3 damage, and it's gone. See if it explodes on a 6 and kills everyone. Does not explode. Goes down. Alright, so now he's been dispatched. We can get on with the true battle of the gods here. Right, we've got the Demon Prince, and he can fight first since it's our turn. And we're going to use his Malefic Talon, since he's only got 2 wounds left as Khan, and this is damage 2. So even if one blow slips through, it's going to take his head off. Alright, we've got 5 attacks to do it. And we're hitting on 2s. So hit them all. And we're wounded on 3s against Khan. Right, we've got all but 1. So there's 4 wounds for Khan to save on 4s. He needs to get all of these, or he falls down on the snowy ground headless.
Not only that, completely turbled.
And he's failed 2 of them, so it's over. It's a tabling. The World Eaters have fallen. Nobly in combat. Khan try to... I don't like to kill Khan, to be honest. He's one of my favourite characters, but against the Death Guard, he killed Mortarion, so he deserves to fall just as much. So we did get a point. No, we got 2 points in that turn, but it doesn't matter. It's a tabling. The World Eaters made a good go of it, but Mortarion did some good work at the start, and almost came back into it. The points aren't particularly that different. I think the Death Guard are ahead by about 3 or 4. Potentially, but that was a pretty good game. Lots of drama in that one, and now I need to have a strepsil.